People who have disowned their parents, what was your final straw? It's always been obvious that my mom never loved me, but it wasn't until I was pregnant that I finally got some hardcore evidence, because my mom was obsessed with having my baby named after Grandpa Gerald. You see, to my mom, he was a sweet old man, but to me, he was my childhood nightmare. The man who locked me in closets until I wet myself, the one who'd starve me and laugh at me begging for food, the one who stole my innocence. And it's not like my mom didn't know about it. She did. She just didn't care, because that's just how his generation was raised. So when she asked for the millionth time, I told her no. I made sure my tone was extra assertive in the hopes that she'd finally back off, but it didn't work. And suddenly her face was filled with anger. "You're being selfish. He's dying," she responded. I rolled my eyes. My mom had been using the "he's dying" card for 10 years straight. "Mom, the baby's name is already chosen. It's Lucas. After everything we've done for you ungrateful little..." She then glanced around at the party guests and stopped herself from going off on me. "We'll discuss this later." And somehow, later, turned into 3 weeks of psychological warfare. Aunts appearing at my workplace, cousins flooding my phone with guilt trips, my father timing his visits for when my husband left for his shifts, cornering me with lectures about respect and family legacy. Each interaction was the same script. Honor Gerald. Don't break your mother's heart. Stop being selfish. The breaking point came at my 36-week appointment, because as I walked into the waiting room, it felt like someone had punched me in the gut. Sitting right there was my grandfather Gerald, surrounded by my parents. My mother smiled sweetly. We thought Gerald should hear his great-grandchild's heartbeat. When he reached for my stomach with his greedy hands, something in me shattered. "His name is Lucas," I said loudly. "The baby's name is Lucas. It will never be Gerald. Ever." The waiting room went silent. My mother slowly stood, looked me in the eyes, and delivered her verdict. "Then you're no longer our daughter." They walked out without saying a word. That same evening, I noticed my phone plan had been disconnected. They'd removed me from the family plan without warning. Every relative blocked me. The family group chat I'd been part of for years suddenly showed, "You've been removed. No holidays. No help when I needed it. Complete exile." Rock bottom hit 3 days later. I was standing in front of the cashier at Bye Bye Baby trying to purchase a car seat when my card declined. The joint account I'd shared with my parents for emergencies drained and closed. As soon as I got into my car, I immediately started to howl with a deep sadness. The loneliness was so painful that I did something completely insane. I called my mother-in-law, aka the mother of the man who abandoned me. The tears made it hard to speak properly over the phone, but 45 minutes after sharing my location with her, she showed up at the car park. I moved into the passenger seat and she drove me to her home. No questions asked. And as soon as she let me into her home, I felt even worse, because she wrapped his arms around me and warmly welcomed me in. I broke down crying, because the whole thing made me realize how terrible my parents actually are. I ended up opening up to him, and he seemed completely shocked by what I said and asked me to repeat everything. So I recounted the morning's events, and his friendly smile instantly transformed into an angry scowl. "Those absolute bastards," she kept muttering. Then she set down her tea and showed something that chilled me. "Your mother's been calling me for weeks," she said, voice shaking. She hit play on her voicemails. That's when I heard it. My mother's voice, calm and concerned, explained how I'd been struggling with prenatal psychosis, how I'd stopped taking crucial medications. The final voicemail suggested Patricia, my aunt, should help them document concerns for future interventions if necessary. The realization hit like ice water. This wasn't about a name. This was about control. And they were laying groundwork to come after my child the same way Grandpa Gerald came for me. "They're building a case," I whispered. Patricia nodded grimly. "Do you have any proof of what they've really been like?" she asked. The thing is, I did. And soon I would make everyone regret how they treated me. Full story on channel, link below.